to build in AI, and that was the intention with Mosaic. Not just talk about AI, not just read about AI, but build in AI. And super happy to see everyone participating. So pumped about this session, pumped about the overall cohort, and super pumped about the projects that everyone will be building at Mosaic.
Amazing, amazing. Energy is high. Let's quickly
Awesome.
get running with this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mosaic wouldn't have been possible without our amazing partners. Literally, the best AI companies in the world are supporting Mosaic and making it happen. All of you would have got access to a lot of credits, a lot of prizes. You'll be winning a lot of stuff towards the end. The best builders will be winning stuff, and it is all thanks to the partners that made it happen. So, big shout out to all the partners. We also had some amazing global leaders joining us at Mosaic. Uh, Saurabh, if you can go to the next one. Yeah, some amazing leaders all throughout, right from Arvind's session to kick it off, the founder of Lean, from having someone from Rocket, someone from OpenAI, the head of product at Gemini, tons of different founders and speakers coming to teach you, mentor you, etc. Again, all of these folks, like you would imagine, are super busy folks working on cutting edge technology, and they were able to spare their time and energy to come teach us, right? So, really fortunate to have this set. Help us, join us, and on to Mosaic. Saurabh, do you want to share about what to expect in the next few days? I know we are at the last session, but Mosaic is not done yet. The bigger part of the entire process is remaining, and that's what we'll get to in the next few days.
Yeah, absolutely. I think by now most of the people here would already know the drill, folks. Make sure you have registered on Devfolio because Devfolio is the platform where you can make your teams and submit your projects. Uh, Registering on Devfolio also unlocks your access to the credits that our partners have been really helpful with, which you can use to build your projects, your ideas, and take it to production, right? So please make sure you've been already registered on Devfolio. Uh, Moving on, I think a lot of people have already chosen their tracks by now, but I'll quickly reiterate. We have four tracks. Anything voice, conversational products, agents, voice agents come and fall into this track. We have our session by Akash today from Elevenlabs, so that's part of this track. We anything vibe coding, right? Anything you're building on Windsurf, on Lovable, etc., falls into this. If you're automating your everyday workflows using AI agents, by default it falls into the AI agents and workflow automation tracks. And we recently had our eval session, which was super in depth. So I think everyone by now is familiar with the tracks that they are working on or they would want to choose. Yeah, I think this was a quick stopover for people who are new or joining in today. Moving on.
Absolutely. I think this is something that we would want all of you to take a note of. I know all of you have been working hard to build your products, build your projects, but the deadline to submit your projects is 7 September, right? So make sure that the coming weekend is where you put in all your effort, go all guns blazing, and ship your products. If you need any help, please reach out to us on Slack or wherever you can find us. But make sure that you submit your projects by 7th. uh, how many of you have started working on your products? Give me a quick thumbs up. Give me a quick thumbs up here on AirMeet. Awesome, awesome. I see so many of you. I see so many of you. Perfect. So would love to check out projects if you need any help in, ideating solutions, or if you are stuck somewhere, if you need help with any blockers, please do reach out to our team. We'd love to help you ship great products, but make sure that you submit it over this weekend. This is where it all ends, and this is the culmination of all your hard work that you've been going through uh, in the past 2 weeks, right? Perfect. Now on to the session for today. Super excited to welcome Akash from Elevenlabs. Now, quick trivia: Elevenlabs is one of my personal favorite products. This is probably the first AI product in that sense that I personally built. was on 11 Labs. So I love playing around the tool. I love the tool overall, the capabilities that it has, everything that it enables. So personally, a big fan of 11 Labs, and uh, so proud to share that 11 Labs not just is a partner for the cohort, but they have tons of credits for everyone participating. They have a lot of help and support available all throughout, and we have Akash today to walk us through how do you build voice first products with the help of 11 Labs. Akash, welcome to Mosaic. How are you doing?
Hey Aditya, hey Saurabh, thank you for inviting me. Looking at the number of people and what people are building and the kind of sessions you guys had, it's crazy what you guys are doing for the community.
Fantastic. The session is all yours. I know this is a hands-on session. So I'll request everyone to follow through. I'll request everyone to take a lot of notes, take a lot of screenshots wherever applicable. But more than that, just go and play around with 11 Labs. That's how you'll actually go get to build great products, right? So Akash, over to you. We'll be around to share any questions or if anything needs your attention. But the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Let me start sharing my screen. Just let me know if it's visible
It's
um,
visible. It's visible.
and if you can hear the audio.
Uh, Audio not yet, but the
Cool. Awesome. So, to everyone here, thank you for joining in. I know it's hard to take out some time and then join workshops, sitting for 1 hour and then listening to, in a way, a sales pitch of the platform of a company trying to ask you to use their product. But that won't be the case in this session. I'll make sure that you get a lot of learnings from this session, not just about our platform, 11 Labs, but also about how you go about building AI voice agents and integrating these agents with various other tools and building smart products that you can actually deploy. Before we start, a quick introduction of me. My name is Akash Hamirwasia. I work as an engineer at Eleven Labs. My team handles some of the core products of Eleven Labs, which is text to speech, sound effects, voice cloning. So if you have used any of these parts of the platform, chances are they are from our team, which also means if you have encountered bugs in those products, it's also probably my fault. Um, and you can follow my work on my Twitter. I go by at Blender School on Twitter and on GitHub. And I have a website with technical blogs, articles, and conference talks that I give from time to time. With that out of the way, let's start. Cool. So this is the agenda of this session. So I'll start by giving you a quick walkthrough of our platform and what's new in our platform with the recent launches that we have done. The second part will be building your own conversational AI agent. And this will be a hands-on part of the session where I'll walk you through from scratch building your own first conversational AI agent that connects with your Google Calendar, with your Gmail, um, and essentially build a personal assistant for you, completely voice enabled. It's very easy to build, and the only prerequisites for this would be you have an 11 Labs account. You would have received a coupon if you're taking part in the buildathon, and you can use that coupon to get access to the platform. For people watching on YouTube, you still have access to the 11 Labs free plan, and you can still follow along and build the conversational AI agent from this workshop. And the second prerequisite is you need a Zapier account. So we will use the Zapier platform to actually connect to various tools from Google Calendar to Gmail, and you will need a free Zapier account just for creating the MCP server. The third part will be the top voice agent use cases that enterprises are using and building on our platform. We'll look at a few small case studies to understand what other big companies are building in the voice AI space. And lastly, if we have time, we will go through a quick Q&A session where I'll answer any of your questions about voice AI, agents, or about the Eleven Labs platform. So 11 Labs was founded in 2022. This is when we released our first beta, and it was founded by two Polish friends, Mati and Piotr. Mati was previously working at Palantir, and Piotr was at Google. And what's interesting is the idea they got for building 11 Labs was very peculiar. So if you have ever watched movies, dubbed in, let's say, a certain language, chances are you may have experienced situations where a certain movie has been dubbed by a single voice actor. So whether it's male character or a female character or a kid, all the characters are voiced by a single person. Can you imagine a film like that? Um, and apparently, this is the case in Polish films where all the characters in the movie are voiced by a single voice actor. So there's no emotion, there's no change in delivery. It's just single voice dubbing for the entire film, which is very boring. And this is how they got the idea to build Elevenlabs. And that's also what our vision is, from building this product, which is to make content universally accessible and engaging across any language, voice, and sound. Today, we have a whole suite of products, from text to speech, which allows you to provide any text and generates realistic, expressive speech through the platform. And opposite to this, we also have speech to text, where you can take any speech audio and transcribe it to text. um, there's also the entire conversational AI platform, which we will take a look at in depth. And this allows you to build smart voice AI agents that have very low latency, can perform outbound phone calls, and also have tool calling enabled, which can perform actions on behalf of your agent. Apart from this, there's also voice cloning. So if you are a content creator and you don't want to spend time continuously recording content, but you still want your own voice, you can clone your voice on our platform and create a synthetic replica that you can use to generate speech in the platform. If you're looking for very professional voices, we have an entire voice library of over 5,000 voices. And these are voices from voice artists and real humans that have given their voice to the platform. And you can go over them. They are some of the highest quality voices I've heard online, and you can use them in the content that you're generating. We also have a dubbing product. So, some time back, Lex Friedman and Prime Minister Narendra Modi got on a podcast, and we were extremely lucky to be the dubbing partner in this podcast. So, if you have listened to this podcast, there is two-way dubbing happening for Lex, where Lex uh, voice and script has been translated to Hindi, and Narendra Modi's voice and script has been dubbed to English. And the podcast was viewed by millions of people. It was also shown on news channels. So it was a huge moment for us where Lex decided to partner with us for dubbing this important piece of content. We recently launched 11 Music. 11 Music allows you to create any music just from a single prompt. Now, you might wonder, how is this different from XYZ tool? Well, this music product that we have built is trained on licensed data. So, unlike other players who just train the music models on top of data without giving copyrights or credits to the original authors, the data that has been used to train the music model is licensed. And that means when you're using the music produced by this, you don't have to worry about any copyright issues. Recently, we launched a big upgrade to sound effects. In fact, this was the launch that we did yesterday. So, just from a single text prompt, you can generate any sound effect imaginable. Think about a race car just going on a track, or raindrops, or any kind of sound effect that you're looking for. And finally, if you are looking to listen to content on the go, we also have a reader app, which allows you to bring in any content, any ebook, any PDF, and listen to it from our text to speech technology. And this is available on Android and iOS. You can install it and listen to the content on the go. For developers, most of these products are also available as APIs. So if you're an engineer building on our platform, you will find the text to speech API, the speech to text API for transcription. There's the voice changer API, which takes a voice as input and changes the voice of that audio file to another voice. And all of these are available as APIs that you can integrate. So without much talking, let me actually give you a quick walkthrough of the platform. So I'll just jump to another tab, and let me just verify if this is visible. Cool. So this is the Elevenlabs platform. Once you sign in, this is where you will land up. And most of you might be familiar with our text to speech product, where you can provide in any text and you can generate speech with a voice that you have selected.
In a quiet village where the sky brushes the fields in hues of gold.
So quite simple. There are a lot of settings that you can control. If you want the narration to be really fast, you can increase the speed. And this is not just some hack where we play the audio in a faster way. This is actually the person, the voice narrating the script in a faster pace. So let's listen to it.
In a quiet village where the sky brushes the fields in hues of gold.
So it's just going at a faster pace. Now, this is the V2 model that we had until now. And a couple of months ago, we launched our flagship state of the art 11 V3 in alpha. And this is the most expressive text to speech model out there. And what it allows you to do is insert in these audio tags. So these audio tags define how your speech is delivered, and you can define any emotion, any sound effect, or any non-verbal emotion that your delivery should contain. So in this case, I want the script to be narrated with a laugh, and then say this, and then exhale, and so on. So let's listen to this.
All right. Guys. Seriously. Can you believe just how realistic this sounds now? I mean, oh my God. It's so good. Like, you could never do this with the old model.
So even today, even after building this platform 11v3 in the product, and demoing it in so many other places, whenever I listen to the outputs the v3 model produces, it just brings a big smile to my face, thinking how AI has evolved in text to speech, where we can produce almost realistic speech just from text. The other capability of v3 model is its expanded language support. So the earlier model had a limited set of languages. We only supported two Indian languages, which was Hindi and Tamil. But with the new 11v3 model, we support 12 to 13 different Indian languages. So just to give an example, let's listen to some Kannada, and I will change the voice to be an Indian voice that I particularly like. So this voice is uh, created for Hindi scripts, but it works for any language. The voices are not restricted to particular language. We just find that it works the best with Hindi, but you can use it with any other language as well. So let's generate and listen to this.
By the time it takes to generate, Akash, it was the V3 demo was amazing. People in the chat are just going bonkers. Everyone is loving it. I also personally didn't know this, so thanks a lot for showing this. Would be very very keen to try it out.
Awesome. Well, this was just the start. Let me go through a couple of different examples as well. I don't know why it's taking so long, but I already have it prepared. So let's listen to this.
ನಾನು ಯಾಕೋ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಲಸ್ಯ ಪಂಡಿತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಲಸ್ಯದ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ PhD ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹಂಚಿಯ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆ
So that's Kannada. Let me give this page a refresh so that I can go through a couple of more interesting examples. Now, one of the biggest changes we made to V3 was adding support for multiple speakers. So instead of just generating a script or a speech with a single voice, you can add multiple different speakers and create a nice dialogue and narration of multiple different speakers speaking to each other. Uh, so let's take a look at a very interesting example. And this one is from our demo, which we had in our launch video.
Hey, Jessica. Have you tried the new 11v3?
I just got it. The clarity is amazing. I can actually do whispers now, like this.
Ooh, fancy. Check this out. I can do full Shakespeare now. To be or not to be? That is the question.
Nice. Though I'm more excited about the laugh upgrade. Listen to this.
So that's multiple speakers with audio tags with the V3 model. It's crazy the kind of content you can create with it. And this also works with other languages. There's some casual conversation between two friends in Hindi.
यार अमित, तेरी शर्ट देखकर लग रहा है तू सीधे शादी से भागकर आया है।
और तेरी शक्ल देखकर लग रहा है पुलिस अभी पकड़ने आएगी।
चल छोड़, कल इंटरव्यू कैसा गया?
इंटरव्यू अच्छा था, पर जब उन्होंने पूछा वेयर डू यू सी योरसेल्फ इन 5 years, मैंने कह दिया उस वक्त तो मैं शादीशुदा और छुट्टी पर रहूंगा।
So that's a quick demo of 11v3. You can try this out on the platform. It's still in alpha, so you might get some generations where the audio tags are read out, or you're not getting the perfect output that you're looking for. But after multiple generations, you will find the perfect generation that you're looking for. It's also available in API now. We had announced the new V3 API a couple of weeks back, and now you can use this state-of-the-art model in your applications to get the most expressive speech generation. The other part of the product that I want to show you is music. So with 11 Music, you can generate any song just by describing it in this prompt. So you can describe the song, it will come up with the lyrics, you can customize it and generate some music. Now, for this particular session, I generated a very calm, lo-fi instrumental track that I just want to play for you to listen. So this is just, quick elevator music, 5 minutes long. You can customize it even more. But yeah, I'll let you play around with this further, and let's move on to the next part of this session, which is going over conversational AI and building your own agent. So before jumping in, I'll give you a quick walkthrough of what conversational AI is. Let's take a look at a quick video.
Building AI agents that can speak is now easier than ever.
Okay, I don't know if it's playing. Can someone confirm?
It is. We can all hear and see.
Hi, what would you like to talk about today?
Introducing Conversational AI with Elevenlabs. Build, test, and deploy, all in one platform for the most natural way to communicate with technology.
Hey, can I check the status of my order?
Yes, of course. Let me check for you now. Your order is due to arrive at around 2 p.m.
Building conversational AI agents used to be immensely complex and demand huge resources, but not anymore. Start building your agent by creating a voice or exploring our vast high-quality library to discover one that's perfect for your application.
Hello and welcome to DHK Online. How can I help you today?
With a wide range of the best LLMs to choose from, you can then upload your knowledge base and define the goal and personality of your agent. Or alternatively, you can integrate your own server to take full control.
Hi, this is Eric from Bound Events. How can I help?
Hey, I accidentally bought a ticket twice. Could I get a refund, please?
Sure, please read out your reference number and I can begin to process that right now.
Our system will analyze and evaluate your transcripts, providing you with valuable insights, conversation playback, and the ability to test and define success criteria. And it's all possible in 32 different languages.
Welcome to DC Medical. How can I help?
Hello, ¿hablas español?
Sí, por supuesto que hablo español. ¿En qué puedo ayudarle?
And best yet, effortlessly deploy your agent into websites with a single copy and paste. Or leverage our SDK for creating apps, services, or even video games. So whatever you're creating, get to production in days, not months. And all with enterprise-grade security to keep your users' data safe and secure. It's time to explore the huge potential of conversational AI with Elevenlabs. Building AI agents.
Cool. So conversational AI in its architectural form is something like this. I'm sure some of you might have tried to build this on your own, where there is a user uh, and there is an agent, and the conversation happens between both of them. So there are multiple pieces involved to make this happen. One is you need to understand what the user is speaking, and that is why you have this speech to text part, which transcribes what the user is saying. And then you send this text to an LLM with, let's say, some system prompts, some instructions of what the agent is supposed to do. And the LLM gives you a response that, hey, this is the response for this particular query that the user has. The agent can also perform function calling or any tool calls or any actions in other applications. And finally, once it has a response, it needs to be synthesized back into speech so that the agent can speak it to the user. So that is where the text to speech comes in, and whatever is generated is narrated back to the user. Now, this is conversational AI in its simplest form. If you have tried to build something like this, there's various other things you have to think about. One is turn taking. When the user is speaking, the agent should not interrupt the user. The user can interrupt the agent whenever the user wants. You need to figure out the latency part. Because you're connecting so many different models, the latency keeps getting added up, and you need to ensure that your latency is below 300 to 200 milliseconds so that the conversation feels very natural. If it's anything beyond 300 milliseconds, it starts to feel like it's uh, a tool from the Stone Age in the AI era, and users might just drop off. So our platform, the conversational AI platform, we are dog fooding it ourselves. So if you access the Elevenlabs docs, you will see the conversational AI widget on the documentation side, and you can start a call with this agent, and you can ask, "Hey, I want to figure out how to integrate the text to speech API," and it will take you to the exact page of the text to speech API, and it will guide you through how you can integrate text to speech in your product. Similarly, we have an agent on the product itself. We call it L, and you can start a conversation. It'll guide you through the various products that we have and any issues you might face. It navigates you to the product which you are looking for and essentially enables hands free mode for your entire product. So let's jump into building our own conversational AI agent now. Like I mentioned, we will be building a personal assistant which connects to your personal Gmail and Google Calendar and allows you to manage your Gmail and Google Calendar just from your voice. So I'll jump into Elevenlabs now. Let me just reshare my screen because it's another window. Mm, 1 sec. I might have to rejoin because it's asking me to.
No worries.
Is that fine?
Yeah, please, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Yes.
Meanwhile, folks, please keep adding your questions in the chat or in the Q&A tab. We have people from Elevenlabs joining in this session, and they are answering your questions live as you are asking them, right? So please keep doing that. And Adi, I think my mind is blown.
Yeah, this was insane. So I have tried the V3 model. So I had some glimpse into it earlier, but it's crazy how, especially with voice, I think tones and emotions, those things matter a lot more. And it's crazy that the new model has these capabilities right now. I think what will be amazing in future models is probably the model understanding our tones and our nuances while we are speaking. So I think that'll be great. But there's already, I think, at another level altogether.
Yeah, and I'm excited to just Adi, just go and build something. I have so many ideas in my mind. People are also sharing it here in the chat.
Absolutely.
Totally eager and excited for the next bit where we are actually gonna get our hands dirty. Over to you, Akash.
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you. Cool. So I'm on the Elevenlabs platform. Hopefully, you have an account on the platform by now. If you're following along, that's great. But the session will also be recorded, so you can follow along later if you miss out on certain parts. Within the platform, there are two parts of the platform. One is the creative platform where you can access text to speech, voice cloning, voice library. If you're building conversational agents, there's an entire conversational AI platform inside the product, which has all the features and tools that you need to build your agent. So let's jump into agents. And one sec. I actually need to show you something in my slide before I proceed. Let me. Mm, yeah, you should never have multiple browsers for these things. uh, cool. So I hope my slides are visible. Can someone
Yes,
confirm?
yes, yes.
Cool. So this is, in a nutshell, what we will be building. There are a couple of different parts to it, and I'll go over them before we go into actually building them first. The first part is Elevenlabs Conversational AI. Like I showed, it is the interface between the user and the whole system, and acts as the voice part of your entire agent. Now, when the user gives some instruction, let's say, check my calendar events, well, how does the agent know that I need to check this user's Google Calendar for this date and get the events and respond back to the user? The conversational agent inherently doesn't have this capability, and you need to connect it to the tools or the apps or softwares that has that actual data. So in this case, Google Calendar is the platform which has my calendar events, and we need a way of connecting Elevenlabs with Google Calendar or any other app. In this case, Gmail, Google Calendar. You might have Notion, cal.com, various other apps that has your data. So how do you bring that data and context into conversational AI? We will be making use of a platform called Zapier. Zapier has integrations with thousands of different apps, and it makes it very easy for non programmers to connect with these different softwares, configure them, and connect them with Elevenlabs Conversational AI so that the entire voice agent has access to your data, to your Google Calendar, to your Gmail. And all of this happens over what's called Model Context Protocol, or MCP. You might have heard a lot of buzz around Model Context Protocol, how it changes everything. It's honestly not that revolutionary or something that is very crazy. It's just a way for multiple systems to understand each other. And in this case, two agents, two LLMs, understanding what actions an LLM can perform. So in this case, Elevenlabs, how does it understand that Google Calendar can create events for you, can update events, can tell you what events you have scheduled at a certain duration? So Google Calendar in via Zapier provides an MCP server, and this MCP server tells Elevenlabs Conversational AI that, hey, Google Calendar allows you to update event, create event. For creating an event, you should give me an event title. And all of this context is important for your agent to understand that, okay, I can now create a Google Calendar event. And the MCP part handles connecting to the right tool, making the API calls and everything so that you don't have to worry about all of that glue code that we write between apps. Now, with MCP, you can connect to various different MCP servers. In this case, we'll just connect to Zapier. But if you're building a product which has, let's say, something to do with stocks or financial data, you can connect to the official MCP server by Zerodha to get your investment data, to get the real-time stock data, and you can feed it to your conversational agent so that your agent has context about what's going on in the finance space. If you want to accept payments, there's a Razorpay MCP server. There is an MCP server for Notion, for Anytime. Anytime is a very powerful platform for building multiple workflows that run in a chain. I'll give a quick walkthrough of Anytime itself, but we don't need to go very in depth into it. And if you don't have MCP servers available, you can still connect your agent to various other tools via what's called server tools. This is a way of connecting to, let's say, legacy systems which don't have MCP servers available. If you have some internal thing in your company which hasn't been updated for a while, but you want to make it AI ready, you can connect it to conversational AI using server tools. Um, if there is an app, let's say cal.com doesn't have an MCP server, you can still connect to it via these server tools. Or if you're building or vibe coding with V0 and you have a REST API, for the engineers watching, you can simply connect it again with server tools. And that is what I love about our conversational AI platform. It's very simple to get started, but if you are a technical person and you know what things are under the hood, you can configure it to do amazing things. But in this demo, we'll keep it simple. Make sure you have a Zapier account created. You might have a Google Calendar account as well. So these are good enough to get started. And I'll jump back to this tab. So back to the Elevenlabs platform. Let's start by creating a new agent. In this case, we are creating a personal assistant. So we can just select that, hey, we are just creating a personal assistant. Let's give it a name. I'll just call it Workshop Personal Assistant. And you can provide your goal. In this case, I want this agent to manage my Google Calendar and Gmail. So I've mentioned it here, and you can be very specific. It'll expand to understand what your actual intent is later on. For now, I've kept it very simple, and we can click on Create Agent to start with a canvas with some data already created. So the agent has been created, and you will see a lot of options over here, but you don't have to get overwhelmed with it. It's quite simple to get started. There are a few things that you need to keep in mind while building your agent. The first is language. So if you're building an agent which speaks in English, select English. If it's in Hindi, you can change the language here. The first message is what your agent speaks when it starts. So when the session starts, this is what the agent will first tell to the user that, hey, hi, I can help you manage your Google Calendar and Gmail. You can customize it if you want. And the next part, which is system prompt, this is the most important part of building an agent. This is what defines what your agent is supposed to do. In this case, I'm building a personal assistant. So my system prompt should be what a personal assistant managing Google Calendar and Gmail would do. Because we had defined it during the creation process, there is already a predefined system prompt that has been added over here. So it says this is your personality. It has also given it a name. You are Alex, a highly efficient, reliable, and personal assistant AI. And you're friendly and helpful. These are essentially instructions and guidelines of what the agent is supposed to do. There is a section on goals. So in this case, the agent has two goals. One is managing my calendar. These are the things it can do. Second is Gmail management. Third is proactive assistant. Um, so all of these are things that are generated just from that initial prompt of, manage my Google Calendar and Gmail. Of course, I can customize this to be anything I want, and we'll come to this in a bit, but let's scroll down to see other options quickly. The next part is choosing an LLM. So the intelligence part of the conversational AI agent comes from an LLM, and you can choose any LLM you want. By default, we select Gemini 2 Flash. It works great. But if you want more intelligent models, you can switch to using GPT-5, GPT-5, GPT-4o, or even the Anthropic models if you want. And finally, the second most important piece of your agent.
Akash, what model would you recommend generally, like the top ones? Is it Gemini Flash or if you can explain like the key differences or preferences, like if the use case is X, then this model works great, anything like that?
Sure. So Gemini 2 Flash, Flash Lite 2.5, Flash, all of these Flash models are great for conversational use cases because these are really fast, and you still get the intelligence part. So they are not that bad in terms of intelligence, but they are really good in latency as well. So if you want a very fast, fluid experience of your agent, go with the Flash models. If you want an agent which thinks a lot, which takes some time to decide on what it wants to output, you can go with larger models, which are GPT-4o, GPT-5. Um, I've noticed even Claude 3.5 Sonnet works really well for some use cases, but these are slightly larger models and can take some time to respond. Although you might not see a lot of difference. So do give all of these models a try and see which one works the best. let's say you also fine tuned your own model or you're self hosting any LLM that you have in your company, you can also connect your custom LLM with the data that it is trained on over here. But just to get started with, Flash is the cheapest to get started with. So if you're testing, it's the quickest way to test. And it also works well for low latency use cases. Cool. So the next part is tools. Now, tools are, as I mentioned, things that an agent can do. So in this case, we want an agent to, let's say, create an event on Google Calendar. So we need to tell the conversational AI agent that, hey, this is the tool that you can call to create a calendar event. There are two ways to create tools. One is you can create custom server tools and client tools, which is there for more technical use cases. But in this case, because we are using Zapier, we will make use of MCP servers in Zapier to connect to our Google Calendar. So now is a good time to jump to Zapier. Zapier has this MCP platform, which you can access by going to mcp.zapier.com. And in the free plan, you get 300 actions per month, which is good enough when you're testing and trying out different things. And to get started, let's start by creating a new MCP server. For the client field, you can select other. Doesn't really matter. And for the name, let's just give it any name. For this demo, I'll just put workshop MCP server. And now we can configure this server with various other tools and services that we want in our MCP server. So in this case, I wanted to connect to Google Calendar and Gmail, but you can connect it to, let's say, Confluence or Salesforce or thousands of different apps that are supported in Zapier. So for now, I'll just connect with Google Calendar. And within Google Calendar, I can see that these are the tools or actions that can be performed on the calendar. So I can retrieve an event by an ID. I can find events. I can create a calendar. I can create an event on the calendar. I can update an event and so on. So we can just click on the tool that we want our agent to have access to. And when you're creating this for the first time, it might ask you to connect your Google account. I've just connected this to my throwaway Google account for the time being. But yeah, you can click on this connect new account button and do the sign in with Google login, and it'll connect you with your Google Calendar account. We can also configure which calendar the agent has access to. So we can select the calendar I have. Because Google Calendar has multiple different calendars within the platform, it's better you select one over here, because then the agent will ask, do you want your event in holidays calendar or your default calendar? So it's better to just set it over here. And we can continue adding in more tools. So I will add in create detailed event to create events. And I'll also update this to be the main calendar. And let's also add one to update event. So quite simple, just connecting various tools to my calendar. And the last important one is, I think it's find events. Yep. So this is the tool to get all the events or search for events on your calendar. Awesome. So we have connected 4 important tools from Google Calendar in our MCP server. In this case, reading events, updating an event, creating an event, and we can also add deleting an event, but I'll leave that as an exercise. And for Gmail, it's the same process. So you select Gmail, select the tools you want. In this case, let's say I'll go with find email. And you can also configure the Gmail account you want to use. In this case, I just have one account, so we'll just use that. Let's also add send email. And this will give the agent the ability to send emails from my Google account. And let's also think that's about it. Let's also add delete email while we are at it. Cool. So we have all of these tools. Now, one limitation with Zapier is that all of these are external apps, and these are one single action that is being performed. if you want to perform a chain of actions, let's say go through Google Calendar, then check Sheets, and then update something on Notion, that isn't really possible with this setup because it's just one single tool doing one single action. And for doing something like this is where N8N comes in. So N8N is a more elaborate, a bit more technical platform, but it's still quite easy to get started. And it allows you to build these complex workflows where, let's say, a certain tool is called, let's say, list transactions. It can do an if else condition and check, let's say, sheet one if something exists on this, or sheet two if something exists on this, and then returns a response. So you can perform multiple chain of actions in this sort of a setup. In this case, it's generating an ID, updating the Google sheet with a new row, and then calculating something and then returning that. So all of this is possible in a no code way with N8N, but it requires more setup and learning upfront. So you can explore this. This is a simple personal expense MCP server. So once you have this MCP server ready, you can connect it in the same way how we will connect our Zapier MCP server. So back to Zapier. Here, just go to the Connect tab, and here we can select certain options that we have, which we can use to connect our agent to this MCP server. Um, Keep all of the default options. You don't have to understand everything here. The most important part is your server URL. Um, it has a secret attached to it, so don't leak it out. Otherwise, you will expose your Google Calendar and Gmail to the world if you have connected it. So just keep it secret and put it in the Elevenlabs platform. Just don't post it anywhere. Otherwise, you risk making your calendar public to everyone. So I'll create a new MCP server. Let's just call it Google Calendar and Gmail. And the description will be, let's say, tools for accessing Google Calendar and Gmail. You can describe what the MCP server does, and this gives more context to the LLM itself. And in the server type, choose streamable HTTP like we did in.
Are you sharing some other screen? We can see your Zapier. Okay.
Okay. I think I was on the wrong tab. But yeah, what I did was in custom MCP servers, you can click on add server, new custom MCP server, give your MCP server a name and a description. The description should be a little elaborate because this also goes to your LLM. So it should know what this MCP server is doing. And here, just select streamable HTTP, what we had in Zapier, and paste the URL here. You get a message saying there is a secret attached to this URL, so you should add it as a secret instead of pasting it directly. For the time being, while you're testing, it's fine. But if you're actually building and sharing this online, make sure you take some of these security steps, like creating a new secret and using that over here instead. But for the time being, just for the demo, it's fine. Finally, just check I trust this server, and we can add this server. Awesome. I have so many here, but just select the MCP server that you have created, and we can actually test if the connection has happened by clicking on the test button over here. I think it's already testing, so let's wait and see if Elevenlabs is connected to Zapier. This can take a while depending on the tools you have, the accounts that are connected to each of the tool.
Meanwhile, we do that. Akash, we had one question on the concept of MCP. Megha was asking, why did we not create MCP server in Elevenlabs? It's still instead of doing it on Zapier.
Sure. So when you create an MCP server, you need to connect it to other tools that MCP server can run. So in this case, we want Google Calendar to be connected to the MCP server. On the Elevenlabs platform, we provide direct connection to an MCP server, and that MCP server itself connects to other tools or other APIs that you have. So in the platform itself, we don't have this capability of integrating with thousands and thousands of providers in one click, with Google Calendar, with Notion, with all of these different apps. And that is why it's easy for you to use Zapier or N8N, which already has integrations with all of these different tools. And these platforms like Zapier and N8N can give you a single MCP server that you can connect on Elevenlabs via the MCP server. If you have certain custom APIs that are not in Zapier or N8N, you can make use of custom tools. And if you are a technical person, you can configure it to be all of these API calls, that there should be a get API call, there should be a post API call. So this becomes quite manual. So if you're just getting started and you know that you need to connect with these set of apps, it's easier to get started with Zapier um, and configure it that way.
Makes sense. Akash, a lot of people are also commenting, can we get that N8N workflow? If that's something you can share later, happy to share it with the community and I'll get it added in the Notion notice board that we are maintaining.
Sure. So I can share it here itself. So N8N already has a lot of different templates on their site. Just search for personal budget and expense tracker, and you'll get the MCP server. And this is on N8N IO. So you can search through multiple different templates that they have created, which you can copy paste and run on N8N. So I'll also share the link to this in case someone is interested. But this is where I got the template from. Let me give the page a refresh and see if it's connected. Don't think it is, which is surprising. Oh yeah, it's connected. So I don't know what happened earlier, but when I click on it now, it fetches all the tools from Zapier and it lists them here. So now the conversational agent has access to all of these tools, from Google Calendar to Gmail to everything that we configured on Zapier. Awesome. So now is the right time to actually test your agent. But you will see it will not work the way you expect it to, because we haven't updated the system prompt. We haven't told the AI that you have access to this MCP server, which has access to all of these tools. And the other thing is, because this is a personal assistant, it needs to know what today's date is if it's scheduling some event on my calendar. Because think about it, it is an LLM underneath, which is understanding the user's requirement and making decisions. So if you tell the LLM what is today's date, it can tell you, well, today's date is this, and this is the cutoff date I had for my training. So it might not have the current information. So for solving this, we have some variables in the system prompt that you can specify, and this will be replaced with the actual data when you start the conversation. So in this case, I've selected system time zone. It will be replaced with whatever time zone the agent is running in. And there's also another one for the time itself. So in fact, it's better to use UTC. So this will be replaced with the current time when the agent runs. And that is how your agent gets access to what today's date is for all the further conversation it has. So you have to fiddle around and update and test the system prompt. I already have a good system prompt which I've tested. So I'll just do some magic to get it here, but I'll also share this on chat if someone is following along, so that they don't have to think about a system prompt. Saurabh, where should I post this?
We can
In the chat.
and we'll
Yeah.
pin it up for everyone.
Cool. So I have pasted it on the chat. So
Uh,
it's
I think the chat is cutting off the character limit. What we can do is we can have a Word doc and then we can just share the link with folks.
cool. Awesome. So I'll do that post the session, or do you want me to do it now?
Yes.
Close the session.
Awesome. So it's just updating the system prompt. It's quite similar, but I've also updated it to say that these are the things you can do. I am in 2025, use the IST time zone. And one important quirk of Google Calendar is, for some reason, start time should be after your event and end time should be before. So that quirk is mentioned here as a very important, that, hey, you should follow this, whatever happens. And you can also set the time zone here in this case, India. Awesome. So that's about it. We'll just save and quickly test. To test your agent, just start a conversation and we'll see how it works. Again, this was a demo. It might not work to its fullest extent, but let's see what we have achieved until now.
Hi, I can help you manage your Google Calendar and Gmail. What would you like to do first?
Hi, can you tell me what events I have scheduled on my calendar today?
Today, September 3rd, you have one event scheduled, lunch from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Would you like me to check anything else for you?
Can you create a new event on my calendar from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. today with the title dinner?
I have added dinner to your calendar for today.
Awesome. Can you tell me if there is an unread email in my inbox related to a project Chimera?
Yes, there is one unread email in your inbox regarding Project Chimera. It's titled Project Chimera, Kickoff Meeting from Lowell Roma. Discuss the project's scope, timelines, and initial action items. They propose a meeting next week, either Tuesday afternoon or Wednesday morning. Would you like me to schedule a meeting with them?
Yeah, let's schedule a meeting with them on my calendar. Don't send them an invite, and let's do it at the time they have mentioned.
Could you please confirm the exact date and time you'd like to schedule the meeting? Choosing from the options Lowell Roma Guerra provided. Tuesday afternoon between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, or Wednesday morning between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
Let's go with
Also,
Tuesday morning, and it is Eastern Standard Time, so you can convert it to Indian Standard Time and schedule it.
I am sorry, but there seems to be a misunderstanding. The email specified Tuesday afternoon between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, or Wednesday morning between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
Sorry,
Could you please confirm the exact...
you can do it on Wednesday morning. That works.
Okay, Wednesday morning between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Would you like to specify a particular time within that range, or should I pick one?
Just pick anything. I'm fine with any time.
Okay, I will schedule the meeting for Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, which will be 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
I have scheduled a meeting titled Project Chimera.
This is wonderful, Akash. My mind is blown.
Yeah, this is amazing.
No, thank you. So that was a quick demo of conversational AI. Like I mentioned, it's very easy to get started. We just clicked on a few buttons, connected our accounts, and it has actions to do anything. And it's able to figure out things on its own also. Like I mentioned, create an event with whatever time was suggested, and it did the time zone conversion and schedule the event. So this was just scratching the surface. If you have a very advanced use case, you can bring in your own custom knowledge base, provide data of your entire application, connect to various tools, customize the voice itself. The entire voice library of over 4,000, 5,000 voices is available, and you can build the agent of your dreams just via Elevenlabs. So I'm excited to see what you build. And I'll quickly jump to the slides just to see what other companies have built with our platform. And then we can wrap this session.
Yep, Akash, there are a few questions that I think we can take after the enterprise thing that you would cover.
Cool. So continuing. So when you are building for enterprises, there are various different use cases that come in mind, and you might find conversational as a platform very suitable for these use cases. One is obviously customer support. If you are, I think something has happened. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. So when you are building customer support, it's very natural for the user to start a call to your customer support. And with Elevenlabs voice agents, these agents have complete context of your company, of the documentation and everything, and they can provide support in a much faster and quicker way. If you are doing calendar management, like we saw, you can create a scheduling agent which acts as your receptionist, and it can schedule events, manage events on your calendar on your behalf. If you're building an e-commerce agent, it can act as a concierge, and it can guide the user through the purchases, through any questions they have while looking at the product page. And of course, if you are doing outbound sales, the conversational platform has the ability to perform outbound calls on your behalf. So you can schedule these calls, and the agent will automatically call users on their real phone number, and the whole conversation happens on the phone. So they don't even have to log in or open any other link to try or use the agents itself. If you're building your own business agent, like we just did with the personal assistant, you will find a lot of pre-made templates on the conversational platform. So if you're building for healthcare, you can select this industry. For edtech, this is also an option, and just select what your use case is: customer support, outbound sales, and this configures the agent so that it works for the particular use case that you have. Going over some real case studies. So Misho has used Elevenlabs to build their customer support service, and today it handles over 60,000 plus calls. About 1 in 3 calls are now handled by Elevenlabs, and of course, this has led to increased customer satisfaction and much faster resolution as well, thanks to the automated agentic approach. These calls happen in both Hindi and English, so you can also use the agents in any other language that you have. Funding Societies, a very leading digital finance provider in Southeast Asia, has used Elevenlabs for outbound calls. So 1,000 plus outbound calls run daily, with agents in multiple different languages. And yeah, they are doing their sales stuff just by doing the outbound calls. Finally, Practica AI has also used Elevenlabs for their EdTech platform, and they have seen a 15% increase in the average user session length, and their app or their platform has also gotten a positive rating, especially because of the high quality voices that our platform provides. Finally, if you're building on Elevenlabs and you are building a startup, we have a grants program. So you can apply for our Elevenlabs grants, and you get access to our platform completely free of cost for 12 months. You get access to 33 million characters, which translates to over 680 hours of conversational AI, enough for you to build and launch and scale your product. And you can read more about the details and check this out at elevenlabs.io/startup grants. Again, very useful if you're building a startup with voice AI. So we want to support you on your journey. Finally, we have been very lucky to have partnered with some of the leading companies out there, uh, which are building voice AI technologies. So if you have used apps like Cars24, Adobe Captivate, Misho, like I mentioned, ShareChat, Chess.com, these companies have now made conversational AI or voice AI, all they have made it very accessible to end users. So anyone without even understanding what conversational AI or voice AI is are actually interacting with our technologies. And it's thanks to these companies for shipping these amazing products via our platform. Um, Finally, if you found this session useful and you build an agent, do share a demo of it on X or LinkedIn. You can tag our accounts, Elevenlabs Devs. You can also tag me on Twitter, Blender School. and we will make sure to share it with our audience so that everyone sees the cool agents that you build on our platform. Um, and of course, if you share, who knows, maybe we might give you something, but no promises. But let's see. Whatever happens, do share what you create. We love to see the interesting demos that people create and share online. And of course, if you like this session, it would be really helpful if you can share with everyone. It'll be recorded and available on YouTube. So share it with everyone and let's see. Let's hope others also get value out of it. With that, I've come to the end of this session. Hope you enjoyed it. You can follow us on Twitter, 11labs.io, to stay updated with all our new model launches, new product launches. Do join our Discord if you're building something. There's a lot of people over there discussing what you can build with conversational AI, helping each other on the platform and everything. And if you're an engineer building on a platform and you need access to our SDKs, you can check out our organization on GitHub and you'll find all the open source SDKs and APIs that you can use if you're building an application on Elevenlabs. With that, I reached the end of the session, almost dot on time. Thank you so much.
Akash, amazing. My mind is blown, and people are super pumped to build things. There is one quick question which a lot of people have upvoted. I I think your video's off, but yeah, I think you can hear me. The question is, how can like, could you just give us a quick walkthrough of the process of integrating voice agents created using Elevenlabs with their web app that they would have made using Lovable, Rocket, so on and so forth? Is there a way to do it? If yes, what are the steps for that?
Sure. So, couple of things. One is, let's say you create an agent and you just want to share it as is. You can copy the link to the agent and you can just share the link with others. This will give them a nice page with the whole agent experience that we have, and anyone can start a conversation via this page. If you want it to be more deeply integrated with your product, um, there is a widget part in the agent platform which gives you an embed code, and it embeds an agent similar to what you can see at the bottom right, and you can customize the colors of this, whether it shows up on bottom right, bottom left, whether it's compact, tiny, whatever. And it's very simple, just copy paste this code wherever you want and it'll appear on the web page. Alternatively, if you want to build a completely custom UI experience, so instead of using these widgets, you still want the functionality of conversational AI, but the interaction piece or the UI should be completely yours. You can check out our API and SDKs. So that requires more technical know-how of handling the APIs and rendering the UIs. But all of that is available on our documentation. So you can follow that if you want a complete customized flow.
Perfect. I know, Akash, you have a hard stop now, so we won't be able to extend much. But before we let you go, since voice and conversational AI products is one of the core tracks in the buildathon, any words of advice, any tips, anything that'll make their building experience better? Since you play around with voice and conversational AI tools day in, day out, your advice would be amazing for people building for that track.
Sure. So I would say the kind of capabilities conversational AI unlocks is very new. We haven't had these sort of capabilities, or even if we had, it was logged to big companies like Google, Apple for their AI assistants. But now this is really democratized. And if you're building any traditional app with APIs or you have vibe coded something via Lovable or anything, try building a conversational version of it. See how it feels in this ambient computing era where users don't have to actually operate anything. Just by talking, they can achieve or get things done. Um, and by integrating tools like Anyten and Zapier, you'll be surprised how you can actually automate a lot of your own processes just by using conversational AI and all of these workflow building tools. Um, Other than this, something I want to personally explore is integrating conversational AI with a hardware piece. So Raspberry Pi or something small, which is like Amazon Echo or Alexa, but it's customs that I can customize with my own tools and my own data. So that's a very interesting piece. I think it should be really easy to do now with the capabilities we have.
Awesome, amazing. And you mentioned about the Elevenlabs grant. If people participating in Mosaic, if they want access to the grants, what would you recommend them to do? Any co you mentioned hardware and voice is one of the, and there is something that we have been seeing all around, and even OpenAI sort of acquired a company just to build hardware products, right? So, any other words of advice specifically on the grant side, people wanting to explore a full-fledged startup building voice AI tools?
Yeah. So for the grants, we consider startups that are actually building something. So if you're just building something, one-off project for a hackathon, you might not be accepted because we understand that you are just using it to get access to the platform. So make sure you have a strong idea. It doesn't have to be completely new. I mean, this personal assistant flow that I showed, if you can build a niche around it for certain, personas, that itself can be a really good startup, and definitely we can give you a grant for such use cases. So figure out a particular niche and then apply. There are certain clauses, but we are very active, and we reach out to almost all applicants who apply for grants. So do apply, and hopefully you get accepted. And we would love to see what you build on our platform.
Amazing, awesome. We won't hold you for her longer since there's a hard stop, but it was a mind-blowing session, Akash. Especially the V3 model demos that you showed, all the conversational demos that you showed, build alongs throughout the session. Fantastic, loved it. We'd love to host you sometime in the future as well. I know this wasn't enough. There are so many questions in the Q&A tab. We'll probably send them over to you if you can, if you or someone from your team can answer. I see that Ruta has already answered a bunch of those questions, but really would love to host you sometime in the future again. Thanks so much, Akash. Had a great time. Thanks so much for supporting Mosaic and for this amazing session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Saurabh, Aditya, for reaching out and giving us this opportunity.
Thank
Special
you.
shout out to Ruta for answering all the questions on the chat. But yeah, really loved being here and sharing some advice and building conversational AI agents.
Absolutely. We'll see you again soon. We'll stick around for a bit to answer other questions, but we'll see you around. Thanks, Akash.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome.
Perfect. That
Awesome.
was a wrap with Akash, but again, mind-blowing session. I see so many of you in the chat, in the comments, trying out Elevenlabs, also being curious, asking all the right questions, and a lot of you are part of the Voice AI track. I think probably the majority of folks, as part of the buildathon, they are interested in the Voice AI track. So super excited to see what you guys build. We'll also try and shortlist some of them and share it with the Elevenlabs team. But like Akash shared, please do tag them on social, use the community hashtag, etc., so that your project gets the visibility it deserves, right? But personally excited about this, and this was the last session for Mosaic. We'll see you around for uh, future cohorts, future sessions, and everything else that we do. But this has been so good over the last few weeks, just getting to be under the same virtual room in that sense, with all the builders, with all the hustlers who have been working probably late nights, right? Most of you are working professionals, you've been joining late nights, depending on what part of the world are you joining from. But for many of you who are in IST, pretty late in the evening, and all of you still show up. So really thankful for everyone. Someone's in the chat asking for more sessions soon. 100%. We'd love to host more AI sessions. We'd love to host the best founders and leaders in the AI space at TPF. So keep supporting. We'll keep doing our best to make sure that you take away all the right learnings, all the right mentorship, right? Awesome. Saurav, any final words before we wrap this up?
Very honestly, Adi, I have a couple of ideas that I would want to build. Already some things are brewing in my mind, and today's session made it so easy to build a voice agent and deploy it within one click. Can't wait to see what people are brewing in their minds. And folks, again, this would be one last push from our side. In case if you have still been thinking what to build, uh, procrastinating on stuff, this is your cue. Just go with it. Today's session just showed us how we can build voice agents, connect couple of bunch of workflows together, be it a small to-do list, be it a personal, a concierge of sorts, whatever, right? And just share it with the world. So I would really encourage people who are still stuck, still trying to have like a mental commotion in their mind as to what to do. I would really urge folks, this is the time. I don't think we could have had any better ending to the cohort. Personally excited. I am gonna try a bunch of things and submit and hopefully see if things work out.
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to everything that you folks build. And lastly, I just wanted to share this slide again so that all of you get a quick reminder to stop talking about AI and start building, right? Because
Yes.
everyone's pretty passive when it comes to AI. Everyone's just curious, wondering, um, doing stuff on the side. But with Mosaic, if you're building, you'll be far ahead than everyone else, right? So make sure that you grab this opportunity. You have access to so many credits via the platform. Make sure that you make the most of it. Try and get your hands dirty with any idea that you can, right? It doesn't need to be like the next Google, right? It can be something that solves your day-to-day use case, like Akash showed today in the demo. Something that can probably, talk to you, uh, an agent that can talk to you about your calendar, email, stuff like that. Very small use case, but something that can help you personally in your day-to-day, right? So try and build something for yourself, and eventually it will be relevant to many more around you. So with that,
Yeah.
wrapping it up, final live session with Mosaic, but we are all around on the Slack. You have all the access that you need on Notion, on Devfolio, everything. We have been doing tons of different events all across the globe for Mosaic. Someone's asking for Chennai. Yes, we do tons of events in Chennai. So please do keep an eye out on our social, on our WhatsApp, etc. Right?
Yes. And Adi, before we wrap up, I would really want to thank all the volunteers who've been with us, doing all the prep work that goes behind it. Folks, there's a lot of things that happens behind the scenes that doesn't come here. So if you find them on LinkedIn, on Slack, feel free to give them a shout out. That just keeps all of our motivations high so that we can keep doing this time and time again and build some great content for you. Yep.
Absolutely. Huge shout out to all our volunteers. TPF is entirely volunteer driven, so that's what keeps us going. They are literally the firepower behind everything that you see, right? It's just us who come onto the screen, but there are lots of folks working behind the scenes to help put this together. So, yep, super excited again to see all the projects that you build and make use of this coming weekend so that all of you can submit it on time, right? With that, it's a wrap for Mosaic. We will see you again sometime soon. But it has been great. It has been a privilege to host all of you for the last few weeks. It's been amazing. Go build great products. If you need any help, we are around. Thank you.
Bye, folks.